We are gonna talk about one of the most anticipated game for 2025, which apparently has having a lot of issues with its launch. Of course, I am talking, you saw the title of the video, right? Monster Hunter Wilds. It's a game that really I had an eye on because, like many people, I played World, which for me was a banger. It was fantastic. I really wanted to play Iceborne, didn't have time. Rise had great reviews, and I didn't have time, so I was waiting for Wild because right now I actually do have a little bit of time. So I was considering playing Wild, but if you are watching this channel regularly, at least the Weekly Quest, our scheduled podcast on Tuesday, you would know that I never buy a game on day one. And this game is proving me right, So I will tell you a few things. It's mixed reviews. Read a few, I try to be very objective because I do like this franchise. But when you have mixed reviews, you have to consider that people are renting for bad reasons. And you always rent more than you leave good reviews. So I read a bit of both. I'm gonna condense it a bit for you, but you will see what comes out the most. And that's basically a little guide or a little taste for you, like I did for me, right? To see, do I want to buy Wild or do I want to buy it now? To which I would answer no, and you will see why. So I have a few notes, and you will see I'm paraphrasing a bit of the reviews that I read, but again, I haven't played the game myself, so you will see. But it's very similar to other game launch, so you won't be surprised. First of all, most recurring complaint being terrible optimization, graphical downgrade, FPS is awful, crash, texture bug, everything looks a bit brown and washed out. The usual, we didn't optimize the game before launch, we launched it too fast, and there's gonna be a big day 1 to 3 patch to fix most of it. We hate games like this. Capcom, you have money, you have a good reputation with your Resident Evil, and I'm sorry, but with such a great IP as Monster Hunter, you can't do that. Just tell the fan, we're gonna be 2 months late, fix your problems, to stay polite, and give us a great launch. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Other things like multiplayer apparently is terribly implemented. One of the good things about World is what it was very easy to just go make a lobby, join the lobby, post quest, and you play with friends. And apparently in this game there's a billion things to do, and it's very well not optimized to play with friends. Still on the multiplayer aspect, you are apparently forced into, that's a World early issue as well, but you're forced into cutscene gates. You're forced into cutscene when you play with other people because you need to see certain things, which at some point was fixed in World, but apparently it came back here. So that's one of the issue that people are mentioning. A lot of the problems which were fixed in previous game, or like quality of life which were implemented in previous game, completely disappear in this one. Like they didn't learn anything about previous game, which is weird, right? Because it should be the same team doing this Monster Hunter IP. So I don't know really what happened, but yeah, that's one of the things. Also, and that's so up till now, what I talked about was something which is easily fixable, right? Just complain about it and the team can fix it with some patch update and things like this. The next one, though, that for me is a real issue. The game actively discourages exploration. I've seen it many times. Like in World, you can have you can create a strategy before you find your mark and start hunting it. In this one, you are confined to a certain area while doing story mission, and your mount, it says everything is listed, everything is shown, everything is auto-passed by your mounts, which really completely kills, the exploration and the sense of freedom and discovery you had in previous game. That's a really big issue for me. Also, and something that will remind you Assassin's Creed, for instance, too many markers. Things like map markers are for comps are buried within other markers in comps, which, for instance, makes you difficult to fast travel to a camp. That's an issue. Technical issue. I haven't seen the gameplay myself, but that's something which came up a few times. Apparently, the camera is not good. Like monsters are bigger than your screen, and tracking what they do is bad. And as you know, Monster Hunter is like a boss fight all the time, and you need to see what pattern the boss is doing so you can avoid and counterattack, extra. If the camera is not good, that's an issue. Not a massive issue, something which can be fixed with a patch again, but kind of annoying. One of the big issue. So as I said, I haven't played Iceborne, so up to you to tell me. But people in Iceborne were complaining about the clutch claw system. In this one, in Wilds, you have something called a wound system. And it's described as the clutch claw from Iceborne, but way more autopilot. You do a huge amount of damage while wounding the beast, get free material, and constantly knock down monsters from applying wounds. And the guy was saying, later in the game, when you're properly equipped and everything, sometimes the poor monster can't even get up from getting knocked down. And he spends the whole fight knocked down until dying. Which sounds more like bowling than hunting, to be very honest with you. Another aspect, it seemed like story-wise, is kind of subpar compared to the previous game. So I'm not gonna go into spoilers, and I'm telling you, if you want to read the comments, it's very spoiler-heavy. I mean, in Steam, so try not to go there. Right? I spoiled myself a few things, but from what I read from the spoilers, nothing absolutely earth-shattering in the game. So, okay, so what I gather really from the good and bad is that past all the optimization problem, it really seems that Capcom has tried to render this game far more casual, to have a more casual experience. And, like the same story as usual, try to get bigger bigger base of players, right? Because the only way for you to make money is to get as many people as playing as possible. And for me, on this kind of franchise, that's a big mistake, because Monster Hunter is an old franchise. It's a very specific niche franchise. And from doing great games like World, like Rise, like all the previous Monster Hunter, when you get inside this game, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get freedom, you're gonna get exploration, you're gonna get big-ass monsters to hunt in different ways. You have to keep killing them to get materials, to get better armor, get a better weapon, everything. It's grinding, and it's hard. But you know what you're putting yourself into. Now, if you're making it casual, it's gonna be great for new players who never played the game. But your old fan base, your diehard fan, they're gonna be pissed off and they're gonna let you know, and that's exactly what I'm seeing in the reviews. Your fan base is really pissed. Imagine, and for me, it's exactly that, right? Imagine that From Software decided we need to sell the next Elden Ring to as many people as we can, so let's make it super casual. Can you imagine that? Like a Soul game, From Software game, but casual? It wouldn't work. People would be pissed. Why? Because it's a niche. Some people just like this type of gameplay. And that's what this game is made specific for that type of gameplay. For me, Monster Hunter is made for people who do like exploration, grinding monsters, hard fight. I still have nightmares fighting Diablos in World, right? But that's what it is. That's just the kind of game it is. So clearly for me, that's the main issue there, because all the technical issues, it can be fixed. And someone was saying it's like the same in the Rise. I haven't played in Rise. You will tell me if he's right or not, but the Rise had a lot of little issues like this. but it was fixed by DLCs or updates or things like this. And definitely that's gonna be the same for this one, right? It's gonna be updates, it's gonna be DLCs, and technical issues will be fixed. But what you can't fix is the story, is this auto-passed stuff by amount, and things like this.